All right, and we are back. Welcome to This Pink Cloud. We are a show that is about multiple pathways to recovery, mental health, all that kind of good stuff. I am DJ 𝐓𝐘𝐒. Yes, exactly. You kind of stepped on it, dude. I didn't get to say the full name before.
No, it was perfect.
It was perfect?
Yeah,
Okay.
I was quick with it.
All right.
Look, try
cool.
something again. Try saying it again.
Hey, I'm Chad Lamons. Anyway, speaking of, it is everybody's favorite board op / co-host, Chad Lamons, everybody.
Woo! Ow. I'm your favorite. I'm your favorite. Thank you for validating my needs. I might use that as lubrication for my wiener touching tonight.
I'm sure she loves. I'm sure she loves that.
Oh, dude, she works at fucking Grace to Change, man. People say some fly ass shit in that place, dude.
Right.
I love it.
All of a sudden, Chad gets all thug.
What's up, bitch?
Hey, what's up?
What's up, you
Hey, what's
stupid
up,
fucking
fucker?
bitch? Sorry, my voice sounds so cool when it's deep.
So we are excited to have this young lady in. As Chad said, she is with Grace to Change. Her name is Jennifer, and let me get it correct, Chelgren.
Chelgren.
There we go.
Yes,
I got it.
yes,
Yay!
yes.
Well, we're excited. Thanks for coming in, and I'm excited to hear your story because there's been some hype and some build-up to how fabulous your story is.
Oh my gosh. Okay.
Yeah.
Who said that? Who said that?
Me.
Well,
Chad.
yeah.
I don't even know if Chad's heard my story before.
I've heard enough of it to know that it's damn good.
Yeah, I got some stories.
Hell yeah.
I don't know. So what do you?
Yeah,
Where
just
want me to
jump in and kind of
figure
tell
this
the
out?
people where you're coming from and how you qualify as an addict.
All right, I can do that. All right, so first of all, my sobriety date is 8/8/11.
Okay.
So 12 years in August, I was sober, off all kinds of drugs and all kinds of alcohol. I loved it all. I didn't have a choice, but I did pick certain drugs and alcohol for certain times of my life. So we'll all kind of go over that.
Yeah.
But like I said, 12 years.
Yay. First off, where's the
So-
shout out for that?
Yeah,
chill,
for
dude.
sure.
There we
That's
go.
a big freaking deal. I
Yeah.
know, 12 years. You know what? I'm a big cusser, so I'm really going to try really hard not to cuss.
No, it's
And-
okay, Chad.
The
Fuck
fuck
No.
are you talking
Yeah.
But
about?
I'm really going to try not hard. I'm just because I think,
Classic.
This isn't a podium.
Yeah.
It's not a
This
podium.
isn't a podium, dude. You don't need a tie.
Oh, one time I was at a podium and I said badass and I got in trouble for that. And I was pissed. I was like,
Right.
The
fuck
first
you.
time I told my
Fuck
story
you.
at my home group, they had an over-under bet going that I would say it more than 80 times, and it was like 39. I
Yeah,
said fuck.
It was great.
Right.
So like all those people, shout out to them that don't
Yeah.
even watch this fucking show and
I know,
support
right?
me. They lost that bet.
I tried. So, all right. So we'll start from. Well, I was telling you earlier, I had never really done this at a meeting or anywhere. Just I teach in IOP, so I talk a lot about my experience with them. But I can start when I was born. So 1970.
Hey, shout out. Same year.
Same year, 1970.
Yep.
All right, 53 this year I turned. So I was born to my mother. Neat, right?
How
she
that
was.
works,
I
yeah.
know, it's cool. She was 14 when she got pregnant, 15 when she had me.
Oh, wow.
So
Okay.
1970, so she was a hippie. First experience with drugs I had was the 50 hits of acid she took when I was in her belly.
Oh, wow.
So that's how I started, right? That's how I started. But I think there's so many stories to this. I grew up in Southern California. Mom was 15. She wanted to name me Janice over Janis Joplin.
Okay, sure.
Nana
Right.
said no freaking way. So
Right.
that's where Jennifer came from. I can tell you the first few years that I don't recall, but my first memory is hitchhiking to Canada.
Okay.
With my mom, hitchhiking to Canada, the side of the road.
I like that
Yeah.
with mom. So where's dad in this scenario?
Mom was 14. He was 16. That was just didn't
Right.
work out.
Sure.
Work out. That was back in the day when they had to take my mom out of school because she was pregnant.
Oh,
at
yeah.
14, and it was kind of cool though. But she liked that. But so I don't know what happened to him back then. That's a whole nother story too.
Okay.
About my dad.
All right,
But I don't
all
know.
right.
So he wasn't around. We went traveling all over, hiking, hitchhiking up to Canada. Came back down from Canada to found Eureka, a place in Eureka, California.
Okay.
I lived with squirrels on the front porch, eating my breakfast. Eventually, my mom met my first stepdad. He had a son, Mark, who's my half brother or stepbrother, and we lived in a Christian commune. So that was really cool. So
Sure.
Kids in one area, parents in the other, growing all kinds of things. Commune. And back in,
Right.
have you guys seen Jesus Revolution?
No, I have not.
Okay,
Yeah.
well, it's about the Jesus Revolution, the born-again Christians in Southern California in 1970 to 80. Anyway, I was part of that.
Netflix?
I think it's Netflix. I think it
Okay.
is
I will
Jesus
check it out.
Revolution
Yeah,
or
okay.
Revolution.
Yeah.
And it's a story of the
communes.
Yes, the
and-
communes
yeah.
and anyways, great story, and that was my
Right.
life. If you guys see that, that's
Right.
how I grew up.
Well, there was some scary stuff going on in the 70s period
Yep.
on the subject of communes with the whole Jim Jones
Yes.
Guyana Punch scenario.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So ours was not quite like that.
Right.
That I know of.
Right.
I was young. Story goes, though, there was a fire. My brother set it, and we got kicked out.
Mm-hmm.
So he didn't set it on purpose. I think a candle was knocked over. I remember
Mm-hmm.
this, and then I kind of remember stuff, and he told me a few years ago, he goes, yeah, we got kicked out because of that. And I was
Right.
like, oh, that's why we left. Okay. And so total hippies, growing up on a Christian commune.
Mm-hmm.
Things were cool. Left there. Lots of stuff happened. Ended up in California. Mom ends up being a heroin addict most of her life. I mean, she started out 14-year-old.
Was this going on like at the commune as
No,
well?
no,
Okay,
I
so
think
there
at
was
the-
a little bit of a window of sobriety.
Window of sobriety there.
Okay.
Living just free, like free hippies. I mean, it
Sure.
was just like we grew food and all that stuff. So that ended. Moved back to Southern California. She's with my stepdad. We're living a normal life, but she's starting to use heroin. Things get crazy. She goes to jail. I mean, a few times. I have one of my vivid memories was probably 4th grade when we lived in this apartment that I felt like was underground, but it wasn't. And then the cops busted in, and this lady in a fur coat came to save me. And I think she was CPS, but she had a fur coat, you know.
Right.
I was like, she's so pretty and so nice. And, you know, she took me to my grandmother's house that time.
Okay.
So I remember that. Every Sunday, we'd go visit Mom in jail and get In-N-Out Burger in
Okay.
Southern California.
Right.
That was like the
The real
special
stuff.
day.
Yeah.
Yeah. That went on until she gets out. She fails on probation, and we take off. We run.
Okay.
Right? I'm 5th grade by this point. There's so many stories in between there I didn't even tell. But,
Right.
we take off. We move to New Mexico.
Okay.
She meets my second dad, who now I call my father. His name's Mac.
Okay.
Don. Anyway, she meets him. He's a biker. I live my life with bikers.
Right.
I'm driven to school in a sidecar. I'm not even.
That's kind of rad.
It's so embarrassing, though.
Oh, yeah,
I
yeah.
was in 4th grade, you know. And
But I bet nobody's going to mess with you.
No.
Yeah.
Probably, no, not at all. But that's some crazy shit. I mean, we lived with them. There's a guy named Slob. There's a guy named Tiny who was huge. I mean,
Always the guy that's huge
Yes,
is named
yeah.
Tiny, right?
You know,
I
those
didn't know it was a Joey bag of donuts, man.
there was such great people. But really, what I learned from them is loyalty and friendship and love is love. And
Now,
there's-
was this gang, was this biker, was it a gang? Or
Yeah, I mean,
would
it's
you
a club.
Okay.
They call them clubs.
A
yeah.
club,
It was
yeah.
a club, yeah.
And was there nefarious activities going on within the institution of the club?
There was, and there was so much more now that I'm an adult.
now that
I'm an adult.
in
yeah,
hindsight, you're
yeah.
like, oh.
And
yeah.
my dad has told me all kinds of stories about that. So he eventually got kicked out of the state of New Mexico. So, yeah,
Okay.
so there's that.
Right.
But so New Mexico, and then between, I moved 12 times from the time I started school till I finished school. I moved at least 12 times, 12 different schools, 12 different
12
places.
different grades.
12
Yeah.
different grades.
Yeah.
Sometimes a grade it was a few, and so I would stay. Hadn't used anything. Well, here's something. My family liked to grow marijuana. So we live in Southern California. That's just what we did.
Sure.
I remember growing up when we moved. So I left California, moved to Kansas. We went New Mexico to Kansas, and we ended up in Kansas. I would send my grandmother Black Beauties. You remember Black Beauties back in the day?
Well, now,
Anybody, you might remember
Black Beauties, I've heard of them. Are they a barbiturate?
Yeah, but and with
Okay.
the speed too. It was
Okay.
weird. Yeah.
Well,
they
no,
were not
I've heard of white crosses,
And
which
the
was,
white crosses,
which
yes.
was trucker speed.
Yes, yes.
Yeah.
So somehow I could get these in Kansas and send them to my Nana in California.
Ah.
I don't know.
Nice.
So Nana was an addict too.
Okay.
Nana was an alcoholic and an
welcome.
addict.
Yeah.
So that's that's how I started, I think. Junior high, doing this at lunch in the lunchroom, looking at look at us, you know,
Right.
we're speeding and thought that was fun.
Right.
So that was that. Smoking weed with my family. That was what we did. Christmas, Thanksgiving, everybody getting around. They were just all smoking. That was what I
Right.
grew up on. Everybody had it in their backyard. It
Sure.
was very normal to me. I
Right.
didn't know it wasn't normal. Mom was a heroin addict this whole time, right? She's in and out, so she has good times and she has bad times. And then we lose everything, and then she builds it back up a few years, and then she loses everything again. I'm just watching her like, what the fuck is your
Right.
deal, man? Like, and my thoughts are like, why can't you quit for me? Why can't you quit for me? Like,
Right.
what's your problem?
Yeah.
You know, now I understand that a lot more than I did back then. Hated drugs through high school, except for weed. Did some drinking. Dated an older guy, who he was 19. Well, we don't want to go. Anyway, I was 14. He was 19.
Right.
I was like, there's
yeah.
a couple of those. Anyway,
Yeah.
long-term relationship. But during all those times, like I said, my mom was in and out of her addiction. I was just being a normal kid, except
Except for the part where you're smoking weed with your
Yeah.
family
Oh.
on the regular basis.
With your motorcycle gang taking you to and from school.
And the part where you're 14-year-old going out with 19-year-olds.
And sending
But other
black
than that-
beauties from Kansas.
But other than that, normal. Yeah.
See, oh my shit! Do you realize this is how I see myself? Really, like so.
Right.
So a part of me, when I started therapy at one point, like in my 20s, I'm like, I better go to therapy. I'm like, okay, so I just need to worry about what's going on right now. Like my childhood, I figured out, and I
Right.
would never, through even up to like right now doing therapy. I'm like, we don't got to go back. I'm cool. Like you don't know, and like you guys all say that. I'm like, man, okay.
Is it really? Is it really out there?
And there's like 40 stories in between that I haven't even told you guys.
Right.
Some crazy shit that's
Yeah.
happened. So anyway, my mom separates from my dad. We end up in, we're in Kansas. They end up separating. I'm dating the older guy. She's in and out. And I'm so against drugs. I'm so against it. So I'm just going to fast forward a little bit because my life was, well, I moved out at 16. We'll say that. I started working at 13, taking care of myself. I moved out at 16. I lived with friends, and then I lived on my own, got my own apartment, raised myself from 16. Went to high school, graduated
Right.
high school, did all that.
Oh, wow.
A's and B's, graduated high school.
That's pretty impressive. And were you emancipated at this time? Or
No. Mom was
Okay.
just doing her thing.
Yeah.
And she would move. She moved to, where'd she move? She moved to Tennessee, and she
Right.
moved to Utah. I moved to Tennessee once with her.
Okay.
And then like 3 days later, my boyfriend came and got me.
Oh.
He then 21-year-old probably at that point.
Nice.
He drove and got me, and then I moved in with him. That was like senior year. She moved to Utah. I moved there during the summer. That same boyfriend gets in a motorcycle accident and loses his leg. Did you know
Hell
that?
yeah, I did not know that.
Fun
Did
fact.
you know that?
Fun fact. Jennifer has a thing for amputees.
Yeah, dude. Yeah, but she has a thing for fucking pilots too. And I was like, nah, dude. I sorry, Jen. I don't fit.
Yeah,
the
if
bill.
anybody
okay.
doesn't know, Chad is missing a limb.
Yes,
Just
he is
FYI.
missing
Why do you
a
have to
limb.
say it like,
Right.
wait?
You're an amputee.
Oh my god, dude.
I
My
am?
leg is missing.
I am.
Holy shit,
Did you
dude.
know?
Yeah, if you guys, anybody out there listening, if you guys have seen it, man, please let me know. I've been looking for it since 2008.
He's been looking for it
His leg.
since he was 19.
Since he lost it.
According to that doctor in the big book, I think I was just allergic to right
Yeah,
feet.
you were,
I
right?
just had an
Just
allergy.
had a different
Yeah,
allergy
my right
than anybody
foot,
else.
you know.
Oh my God.
Once
right?
the allergy was set off, it just took off, man.
So great. All right. So
So he loses a leg.
loses a leg, and I had a ticket to go back or some shit, I don't remember. But anyway, we had to convince the doctor to tell the ticket people I'm his wife at 16 or something. Anyway, I flew back, moved in with him, took care of him, which he didn't need much taking care of because all the girls loved him anyway. Leg or no leg, that shit didn't stop. So that was really hard. That lasted until graduation of high school. Actually, I moved out before graduation with him. I'm still not doing drugs. He would piss me off. I'd find him doing coke here and there, like at concerts, and I'd be like, "Fuck you," know. Fast forward. At this point, I'm not doing a whole lot, but I'm smoking pot all the time and drinking all the time, especially 18 to 22, drinking. I'm at a rock bar. I love rock and roll, right? I'm at a rock bar, partying with my friend. She's having extra fun. And I'm like, what are you doing? And she wouldn't tell me, 2 o'clock, the bar closed. We're sitting in front of this house, and she's gives me a key bump and says, you want to try it? And I said no forever in my life. You know, I've been offered drugs, and I was like, no. I'm not going to be like my mom. For some reason that day I said, okay.
Yeah.
I learned
Right.
for some shit. I don't even know what it was. I did that line of Coke. We went into this house where a party was going on, and I did a rails of Coke all night long until about 8 o'clock in the morning. Fell in love with that shit. That was the greatest thing ever in the world. I was friends with everybody. They liked me.
Right.
We even came up with some great business plans in the bathroom, and then we had to do it more the next day to figure it
Yeah,
out.
what was it? Start a business.
I mean, absolutely. Right. So that was like the beginning of it all, I think, right, with cocaine. And I was I did a 20 here and there, and it lasted fine. It was cool. And then eventually it just built up. You know, 20 is not enough. I need it during the day. I need it while I'm at work. I was a restaurant manager by then, managing restaurants. Well,
Right.
hello. There's plenty of cocaine at restaurants.
Yeah.
My bartender would give me, she'd rip me off too. Is she out there? If you're out here, I'm not going to say her name, but anyway, I would buy, shit from her every day. And it was just crazy. So cocaine was my first love.
Okay.
Weed was my first love and always probably will be. But cocaine was it. I met... let's see, 94, I met a dude that was a bartender, and he had been chasing me for a long time, and he played hard to get one night, and I cried. It's the first time I ever did Valium. It's like, I think I love him because he played hard to get. He didn't. He was a bartender. I had to sit at a booth.
Right.
I had to go walk up there and get my drink, and I had to pay for it. And I was like, what is wrong with this guy? Like, he's supposed to be in love with me.
Right.
Well, that fucking worked. Hard to get. You did it. So I went home that night. I was moving to Topeka. So you guys got to you got to make me move faster because I have lots of stuff. I was moving out of state to open a new restaurant or out of town. So I was a good girl. I didn't sleep around. But my friends took my car and left me at this guy's house. I said, well, I can do this. I'm not going to fall in love. That's not, I can, because I'm moving. Nope. Did it that night, was in love the next day, both of us. I mean.
Right.
Yeah.
No, that's how it works.
It happens.
I know. Anyway, I moved to Topeka to open this restaurant. I cannot find cocaine, but I can find this stuff called, what was it called back in the day? Meth was called crank back in the day.
Crack, yeah.
Yeah, crank. The little pink, brownish crank stuff.
Okay.
The real shit.
The real shit, yeah.
Not the chicken wire fucking bullshit.
So we can't find Coke, so we find that. And then that's, wow, right?
Yeah.
Wow. I mean, so that got me skinny. That got me a promotion. It also got me driving back and forth to see him from Topeka in blackouts, though. Right?
Oh, wow.
Just getting there and blacking out because I was opening a restaurant, which is like 8,000 million hours a day anyway, and then doing that and then partying on the side. So.
Right. Yeah, it's like those lines get blurred for sure.
For sure. Yeah. I opened 2 restaurants that way.
Right.
The one in Topeka, another one, and then I missed this guy so much, and I moved back.
Right.
To the restaurant.
And you were doing like 96-hour shifts.
Yes, 96 hours, all crazy working, but I loved the challenge of running a restaurant. And I love the challenge of making people happy, which you do at restaurants also, and I loved being customer service. So all that, I was good at that, right? And I was bar manager, which I knew all about the bar, so I was good at that. I felt really good about myself when I was doing that, even in my addiction. And I didn't quite think I was just partying.
Right.
I was just partying, but daily.
It's normal, right? Yeah.
But daily,
I'm just committing federal offenses by crossing state lines with illegal drugs.
No shit.
I don't have a problem, man. You got a fucking problem. Make the shit legal.
I know. I should have, right? No. But like I said, lots of stories in between all of that. I go back to Kansas. I move in with this guy. His name's Jeff. He's the bartender. I'm still running a restaurant, doing well. He actually changes his life. He's gonna work in construction, so that's cool for him, right? He gets out of that. He starts working in construction. We're still happy. Cocaine every day, though. I go back to cocaine because I'm back in the other city. No kids. We didn't want kids. Weren't gonna have kids. Then we got pregnant. That's 90. Oh, hello. That's 26 years ago today.
There we go.
Oh, wow. Happy birthday to her.
Happy birthday, Isabella.
Oh, there we go.
So she's 26 today. I get pregnant. I don't want to have kids. I'm still using cocaine throughout this. the depths that addiction can take you, and this is one of the things I'm not proud of, but I like to share, is that he would not go get me some dope one night. It was midnight, and I fucking 8 months pregnant, walked at midnight down to the dope dealer's house just to get some.
Right.
You know, I mean, that's just.
Sure.
Now I look back at that, I'm like, well, I do that, right? Who does that? We do that.
Yeah.
You know, and I didn't think a thing about it.
Mm-hmm.
And it was like, okay. I did some coke, and then a few hours later, my water broke. So
wow.
that was not cool either.
That was a damper on the party.
It really was.
That night. Sorry, I'm like, can't you hold off?
Literally.
What is happening?
That literally became a damper on the party.
Anyway, so I go to rehab, right? They send me to rehab from the hospital.
Probably a good idea.
Yep. Okay. CPS finds out I get to take my baby to rehab.
Okay.
Right? This was in Kansas. You got to take your baby to rehab, and I played the game that at 9 months pregnant, some random friend comes over and offers me coke, and I thought I would try it.
Yeah.
And I really think they believed me.
Yeah.
I know now they did not believe me.
Right.
But I just was playing that game. I was like, I'm a pothead. I'm nothing else. I don't know what you're talking about.
Mm-hmm.
While in treatment, crazy shit happens too. I have a teacher out here teaching, drops dead in front of us with an aneurysm.
Oh, wow.
While I'm in treatment.
That was fun.
Right? That was no traumatic at all.
Yeah.
I thought about that today earlier. So that's like the beginning of me getting sober, right there for the first time in 1997. And that didn't last long.
Yeah.
Okay. That didn't last long. I have a kid. We're doing cocaine. Cocaine just doesn't ever stop. She's a baby. One morning, I'm like, when are you going to move out? We're talking or arguing about who's going to sleep. Who gets to sleep today is our argument.
Yeah.
Like, who gets to sleep? And I'm like, when are you going to fucking move out? And he's like, tomorrow. And we're like, okay. And then that happened. So.
I thought you were fucking talking about you were arguing with the baby.
No.
Right.
Like, when are you going to fucking move out?
Right?
When are you going to get a fucking job? I was like, man, dude, you're out there.
I did too for a second. Yeah.
Sounds like fucking having an argument with a fucking 3-month-old baby, dude. When are you going to get a fucking job, man?
She should have done that. I mean, really, things would have been so much better if I could have got her to work early. Oh, God. Anyway, lots of different stories went on with me and him splitting up and all that. I'm doing lots of coke. I don't get help. I just don't care. CPS, I got through CPS pretty well. I stayed clean until the end, and I didn't. And then I don't want to give away secrets on how to pass UAs, but this didn't work, so I'll tell you this one.
Right.
So I got a plastic bag and put fake pee in it and put it under my arm. I couldn't find an IV, by the way. I tried to find an IV bag, so I made my own where it lined up, went under my ass, came out. I had to pull the thing. Anyway, didn't work. I had a big coat on. It was a big freaking mess. But that's what I tried to get away.
Sure.
To anything. Right. We will
to
try.
Circumvent. Yeah.
So I just don't get caught, but I don't have a problem.
Right.
There's no problem here. I just don't need anybody to fucking tell me not to do cocaine.
Right.
Yeah.
I mean,
Of course.
I'm not even doing it. I'm just smelling it.
Yeah.
That's right.
And it's not even every day anymore. Like what? Anyway, that kind of goes. We end up moving. We get back. We separate a few times, get back together. We're like, well, we can't live in Wichita and be sober. So we move here to the colony where my mom, who had just gotten out of prison, is in the colony. So she's clean at this point, getting out of prison, and we think we're going to come have this great life. And we do for a while. We do. It was good. We got an apartment. We didn't know anybody that dealt anything. We were staying clean. We drank. And things were good. And then my mom hooked us up with a pot dealer so I could get some weed because I like weed. 6 months later, I found out he deals coke.
Oh. Yeah.
2 months later after that, I'm driving from Frisco to Denny's on Skillman every night.
Shout out.
Shout out.
Hey, man, I can't tell you how many drugs I bought at that fucking
Yeah, I'm
Denny's.
telling you, right?
For real, man.
Yeah. That's back in the day when the toll tags, you could throw money in. Ching,
Oh, yeah.
ching. You guys, nobody's going to remember that probably. But
I do.
I would skip through.
Yeah.
And by the end of that whole cocaine era, I owed $30,000 in toll fees.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Holy shit.
I got a story about that too. Anyway, good people at the toll company. I love y'all. Thank you for helping me.
Right.
And maybe I'll tell that in a bit. But so then there we are. Hi, there we are. We're fucked up again. I mean, just going at it.
And now is mom just drinking at this time?
Mom was sober for a minute. for a minute, for a little bit. She was
Right.
sober for a minute, then hooked up with some man.
Okay.
They started doing heroin again. So she's in and out.
Right.
She's always been in and out. She's never had, at that point, any real good long-term sobriety. There was one point, I guess, when I was in fifth
At
and
the
sixth.
Jesus camp.
Yeah, the Jesus camp.
Right.
And in 5th and 6th grade, we lived in this little tiny small town in Kansas called 𝐓𝐘𝐒. She worked at the library there. Pretty sure there was no heroin.
Okay.
Pretty sure she was.
Right.
Pretty sure she was clean in that little small town. But like I said, we moved 11 times, right? So
Right.
from there, it was California. She found heroin, and a girl brought her back.
Yeah.
We came back here, and then it was on, it was
Right.
constant. It was constant, which is why my dad
Well,
left.
I mean, y'all had definitely a nomadic lifestyle. So what do you think was the cause of that? Was everybody trying to fix their problems by running away from them?
Oh,
basically?
for sure. I think so.
Yeah.
Definitely from my mom. That's where I got it, right?
Yeah.
And that's what my solution was too. Let's just move. Let's just start over.
Right. Yeah. Sure.
And what I realized is every time I moved, all those times, even as a child and as an adult, I got to reinvent myself, right? A
Right.
fake person, though. A fake person. I wasn't, I had all these faces. I tried to think about what I was going to talk about, and I was like, oh my God, there's too much.
Sure.
I don't want to go there. But what I did realize is every few years I was a new person.
Yeah.
With a new substance or a new addiction or a new this or
Or at least a new location.
a new location
Yeah,
for sure.
right.
So I got to be whoever. So I did that a lot. So yeah, adulthood, I did the same thing. We get here.
And then I also hear a little codependency in the story
What?
too. What are you talking about?
What are you talking about? What? Who? Well, I definitely with my mother.
Okay.
For sure. If she was okay, I was okay. I never, I raised her. We were 15 years apart. So
Yeah.
we were we raised each other.
Yeah, it was like sisters.
Yeah, and I watched her just kill herself with heroin for
Right.
the most part. Codependency with her, and I'm a little controlling. I like to make sure everything, because if I can fix everything, I can make it look pretty how I want it, and then I don't have to worry about shit. So if I can fix you and it and this, then I can manage it. Yeah, I wasn't very good at that though.
A whole
right?
lot easier
Right.
to fix everybody else than it is to fix
Isn't
everything
it,
going
right?
on.
I know. Because none of it was me. I don't even, what are you guys talking about?
Right.
None of this was me. My mom, don't you know? My mom was a heroin addict. We moved. Did you not hear all this? Right? This is the shit. So, we move. He gets good work. I get good work. I work for the state of Texas. Shout out for state of Texas. I was as a food stamp social work, right? You come in and apply for food
Right.
stamps or Medicaid. That would be me. At that point, we're mellowing out a little bit.
What year are we talking?
Okay, this was.
What year are we
What
talking?
year are we talking? Isabella was in 5th grade, so she was 10. So, 97 to 2007.
Okay.
2007. Working for the state, doing the food stamp thing. Oh, this is some shit that I probably shouldn't say out loud, but I've made amends. I did some things with some clients that I probably shouldn't have done for substances. Maybe they might have got something and I might have got something. Or I would ask you all about your prescriptions just so I could be your friend.
Right.
You know,
Gotcha.
hey, tell me about your prescriptions, and we can maybe,
work
maybe
out a
we
barter.
can be a friend or something,
yeah,
sure. And then, if you need me to give me a call, and I would befriend these people,
Right.
I would befriend them, and
Right.
it was. I don't think I did anything illegal, but
Sure.
I befriended people that could help me, and I could, we could do
Right.
something. So,
Mutually
yeah.
beneficial.
And that was started to be with pills, though. So Jeff was my husband's name. Got 2 of his fingers cut off, legs and fingers. I love amputees. Hydrocodone was introduced. At that time. One night he said, "Hey, this makes me feel good. Try it." And then our life was perfect. Our life was perfect. Together on hydrocodone, we could have conversations that I never had before with him.
Right. Yeah.
And that was only for 6 months though, because then you just do them because you have to do them to stay
Sure.
sane. Now you're not going to know. So we were on lots and lots of pills. Lots and lots of pills, and this went on for a few years.
That you were probably procuring in various ways.
Various
Yes.
ways. We weren't gonna people listening
Right.
probably. I could
Right.
tell a lot of stuff, but yes,
Right.
very, very ways. I found somebody who happened to get OxyContin and a whole bunch every month.
Right.
This was before the crisis, so I could pay him I could get $5 of 40 milligram OxyContin if I bought them in bulk.
Mm-hmm.
When they're $40 a piece, and
Right.
I was getting them for 40, so I was buying hundreds. I was getting them for $5. That was
Yeah.
That was it. That was it. And that's where.
If only that was sustainable for the rest of the life.
There
wouldn't even be a reason to quit.
No, the cocaine, we got off the cocaine basically because we found the pain pills. It was really the only reason. And it was closer. I didn't have to drive to Dallas. I didn't have to run up the toll tags.
Well, and you don't want to spoil the mellow of the, with cocaine.
Yeah. And like, that's what happened with me with like, because, I smoked like a fucking quarter a day of weed to myself. And people are like, how'd you quit smoking that much? It's like, well, I started doing way more heroin and I completely forgot to smoke weed for 3 months.
Absolutely.
Then the next time I smoked it, I was like, this shit ain't for me, man.
Absolutely. Right. So that happened with meth when I got on meth, but I was still smoking weed. My husband was drinking big, heavy. He was a big bad alcoholic. I drank a whole shit ton in my 20s. But then when drugs came in, I drank, but just not crazy until later. So that goes on, right? We're doing all kinds of crazy things for pills. And life is shit by this point. Life is shit. Just the whole thing where you're always lying, you're never going anywhere. We're in the same spot we were 10 years ago.
Well, your addiction becomes your job.
Yes. Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Because, if with opiates, if you run out, you're going to feel like shit. You're going to hurt if you get off those. So that was my main thing for two of us. For two people, I had to manage how we were going to get our pills.
Right.
So we didn't die. Right. We were flagged at all the ERs. The last time he went to an ER, he went to one and then went to another one in Louisville. And they said, well, what did Medical City just say? And he was like, oh, because for a while they didn't flag you, right? And then I would get different socials, and then I would be a different person. And then then we would drive to freaking Oklahoma to the ER there sometimes. I mean, that's how sick we got.
That's that's some fiend shit. Yeah,
what?
For sure.
What did you call me?
Right.
Okay. We were. And it's mainly, afraid of the pain.
Yeah.
Afraid of the pain. Eventually we get on methadone. My mom we're all doing pills together. My mom gets on methadone. I don't know what year this was. Let's say 2010 or something. We all get on methadone to get off. That works pretty well. Not spending $600 a week anymore. Staying clean, feeling good, working for a marketing place. And then my mother meets Shirley.
Okay.
I love Shirley. Shirley, my mom worked at CVS overnight. So, of course, she's going to meet the crazies that walk in. So this fun chick walks in. They start talking. What you doing up at 4 a.m? Oh, I'm a meth dealer. Okay.
Sweet.
Shirley becomes my best friend.
All right.
Right. Immediately, I love her. And the meth dealer. I had nothing anyway. Of a couple, they both became my best friend because I had the car, they had the dope, I had connections, or they did, or whatever it was.
Yeah.
It was great. It was great. So while I'm on methadone, I discover meth, and I start smoking meth, and I'm faking my UAs at the methadone clinic.
Yeah.
Because I don't want them to see that I got meth in my system, and I'm doing all these crazy things, and finally I just weaned down to like 15 milligrams, and then crash for 4 days and feel like shit and just break it because I don't want to pay no more for something I'm not. Why am I, why am I faking my UAs at the methadone clinic? I just was not.
Yeah.
So then there was meth.
Yeah. Well, I'm going to pause you right there. Hey, let's throw to Max the Axe at Lone Star Injury Attorneys. If you go to www.thispinklawyer.com. It'll take you to the Lone Star Injury Attorneys website.
I just go to Max. Just go to Max ACX.
That's right. He will actually get back to you. Just shoot him an email.
He practices law.
That's right. He does.
He's a lawyer. He practices law.
He is a personal injury attorney.
He's a personal injury attorney.
That's right. Good, Chad.
I'm learning. Chad. I learned something today.
Anyway, and then so hit him up for your personal injury needs, and then also we have a couple new tracks out, which Chad is going to play for us.
So we made some.
Or Chad's just going to sit here and awkwardly breathe.
We made some songs.
Bodies, 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 bodies. the way my body's moving to the beat. I love the way you're slowly getting close to me.
Say, Chad.
So, just a quick little fact, a quick little tidbit of information on this one. So this gentleman right here to my right, he's the one who did the original vocals for that last song. That, I mean, arguably makes people probably want to touch themselves. It's a pretty sexy song.
All right. Well, I will be sure and edit all of that out.
No, you ain't gonna edit nothing out. I'm gonna come back and say it in the background.
So we're at the zenith of the drug career.
Right. All right. So we're at the meth career. I'm stealing at this point. At this point, me and my husband are stealing, conning. Any store I walk into, I'm stealing and returning anything to get to pay for the drugs by this point, right?
Sure.
He's always worked. My husband always worked full time, always went in, no matter how fucked up he was, no matter how hungover he always had that hard working. So it was good. But our drug addiction was more expensive than that. Mm-hmm. So a lot of stealing, a lot of things that I thought nobody else did. And then when I taught not taught them about it, when I spoke with my people about it, they're like, oh yeah, we did that for years. And I was like, I thought I was so inventive with my stealing. I really did.
Right.
So I lived a life of stealing, conning, manipulating, all kinds of crazy stuff. So eventually I get caught for stealing. And then that same year I got caught for stealing. I didn't quit anything.
Mm-hmm.
I got caught again. And they caught me with a possession charge, felony possession charge, another theft charge. And then I had an original theft charge.
Okay.
You know, one thing I think is when you go in front of a judge for a theft charge, they need to assume you're probably on drugs and that you need help, right? Because nobody was like going, why is this girl stealing? You know?
Right.
And then the crazy thing was the guy at the Kohl's that caught me, he said, Jennifer, as I was walking out the door, he'd been watching me for years. He was ready to catch me. And when he knew I had meth, he was super excited. So, but I deserved all that. I get that. But that's how I live. Stealing, conning. My daughter wanted for nothing because I would steal it for her, and it sucks. But she wanted for attention and love. For sure. I was not present. I played the thing that my mom was always in the bathroom shooting up. Well, I wasn't. You know, my door was open. You could do whatever. You know, I was just hiding my pipes under my pillow. I was just doing it smarter. I had ways that I could hear better. So I was trying to compare myself to my mom. At least I wasn't that, which kept me super sick.
Right.
Super sick. So I'm on probation. I get on probation for these charges. And of course I have dirty UAs. It's not good. And my probation officer is like, you are such a liar. And we're going to take your kid away and we're going to send you to SCORE. And I was like, oh, hell no. I don't even know what any of that is. And none of this is fucking happening. She said, I need to call this lady. So she calls this lady from this treatment center in McKinney at the time. And her name was Shannon. Right?
Okay.
Shannon White. So who's my boss now, by the way. So this is how I met my boss. She comes up to probation office, takes me to this glass room, talks to me. I'm crying. I'm breaking down, finally telling someone for the first time that, oh, my God, I've been a drug addict for 25 years. Yeah. And I've never said that out loud. And here I am. And she goes in and she says, I think we can help her.
Right.
So, right. So I go to drug court. I get put in an IOP. I go to drug court. I do well. The one thing I didn't do for those 11 months before I relapsed after 11 months, I didn't quit stealing. Oh, and I was also having an affair. I didn't quit that either. Okay. Now, Shannon was my counselor. She didn't know about the stealing. She didn't know about the affair and warned me, you need to stop this. You've got to stop this. And I was like, I've got it. So I didn't work a good program. All I did was IOP. I didn't stop stealing, and I had a few beers here and there. Right. If I had a UA already that week, I might have.
It was the dial it back program.
It was whatever, and it was just like one. So and I did bath salts during that time too.
I did those on accident.
Here's the crazy thing: I did them on purpose. Right. I did them on purpose.
Oh well, once I knew what it was, and we still had more. Oh hell yeah, I did the rest of it.
It was crazy. I gave all my clothes away. They looked better on my friend, so she got all my clothes that night. Hell yeah. But so this is the first year of probation. I get caught finally. There's just so much more, but anyway, I get caught. I'm in IOP. I'm successful, but
I'm waiting for the book because you keep on saying there's so much more
pieces that I can talk about.
But but there's so much more. I'm waiting for the tell-all book.
I need to. So let's see. So I do 11 months well, and then I start relapsing and start slipping and not doing so well. I have to go to rehab at this point because of probation, all that. I go to Homeward Bound.
Okay.
Because I don't have any money, so I got state funded. I get to Homeward Bound. I'm miserable for 3 days, and after the third day, I'm like, oh my God, I love it. I love it. It felt so good, right? It felt good just to be around people that understood me. It felt good to be around people that knew when I said I conned and manipulated and robbed people for years and years. They're like, yeah, you're going to be okay.
Yeah.
The counseling there wasn't the greatest. There was one for all of us, so I'm not going to say I got a lot of therapy there, but the groups were great. I still have friends that I went, a couple of them are LCDCs like me.
Right.
You know, the one thing I'll talk about there is I had a real big problem with God. So they do 12 steps there, right? And I didn't fuck that shit. I didn't want to do that. That's why I never got into them. There was this girl named Mariah.
Well, a lot of people have a problem with that portion of the steps, but there's also we agnostics.
Yep. Which I was going to say is in that rehab, someone said, "Hey, read chapter 4, we agnostics," and I did, and I said, "Well, if somebody would have given this to me." 20 years ago, led with that. I needed someone to lead with that. That was such a relief.
Or I could have just read the book.
Or I could have went and talked to somebody. Yeah. Well, this girl Mariah was there, and she was Wiccan, and she gave me pause and relief that I didn't have to love God right that day in rehab. So she really saved my life in rehab. So she was like my girl that was like, it's okay, whatever. So get out of rehab, and I love it. I go to school. I'm in school to be a marketing person. I wanted to be a shopper for Macy's because I stole so well. I
stole the best.
I am not even bullshitting you. I thought I was a great shopper. So I thought, well, you know what? That's what I do well. I'm going to go ahead and go to school.
That into a career.
Jesus Christ. Right? Seriously, that's why. And so then I decided I'm going to be a counselor.
Okay.
So I finished my education, and sobriety's great. I discover 2 weeks before rehab, I'm getting ready to relapse. I'm kind of backing up a little bit because my boyfriend pissed me off, and so did my husband. Right? They both pissed me off at the same time. I called this girl who was an old meth dealer, and I knew she was sober, and I said, "Okay, are you still doing this thing that you talked about?" And she's like, "Yeah, you need to go to a meeting." And I said, "I need something because I need something." Anyway, went to my first 12-step meeting the next day, and I finally felt like I fit in for the first time. There was against 12-step forever. Multiple pathways to recovery. I never push it on anybody because there's so many good ways to get sober.
I agree.
So many good ways. So I get my license in counseling, and I lose my little job. So I got real humbled, and I got this little job working at a boutique, making $8 an hour. But I was able to walk there across the street from my house. I was able to walk back. I didn't make much. I got keys. I didn't rip this lady off. My life. I was like, what? I'm like changing, all these cool stuff. Shannon calls me after the lady fires me. We worked together for a year. We just, kind of. Shannon calls me out of the blue 2 days later, of course, and says, "Hey, I need a new admin." Of course you do. That's how it works, right? That's how this works. If I do the next right thing, I am provided for. And that's what I found out. So I get there to Grace to Change, where I am now the program director and counselor there.
Nice.
I get there in July of 2000, 10 years ago. So 2020, no, 2010, 11, I don't remember what it was. 2013, I can't remember. I do my practicum. I do my internship there.
Right. Well, so you were front row for the shit show.
I was front
here.
row for Chad's shit show. Yes, absolutely. I picture him right now in front of Shannon's office with the handcuffs on and everything.
Oh yeah. Well,
absolutely.
I mean, Chad and I used to work on music together prior when we were both in our active addiction, and he would show up with the hands, with the whole huge scar, I would say elephantitis of the hands because he was never giving it a chance to heal.
No, he was one of the worst we've seen for sure. Yeah, for sure. Yeah. So proud of Chad. So it's so cool, full circle, right? Come back and just
absolutely. Now you get to be on. Now you get to be on my fucking show.
I know.
And we're gonna have the cops come in and arrest you.
Actually, hey, surprise! There's some past charges, and we've got an arresting officer here for you.
There probably is, and it's okay, right? Yeah. Right. Speaking, I make monetary amends for the rest of my life, as much stuff as I sold.
Right.
So that's crazy. So I go to that AA meeting, and when I get out of rehab, that's straight where I go. I go to AA. even though I'm a big drug addict, I'm an alcoholic too. I stopped seeing the differences. I just wanted to feel better. And this girl that was a meth addict also was doing it, right? That was worse than me. And I was like, if she can do it, I can do this shit. So I sort of followed her along the way. We both said, you know what, we can probably drink in 6 months. You know, we're just not going to do any drugs. We'd go to lunch after AA and go, yeah, I bet we could drink in 6 months.
Right.
Like a month in, we're like, oh, fuck no. We are like alcoholics, like to the, you know.
Yeah.
Right. White Russians in the school lane picking my car up is, I have a problem.
Yeah.
I don't know. That might be a problem.
Yeah, I think so.
I don't know. You know, I
Yeah.
don't know. They're
Maybe
like,
if
it's like
the Big
milk.
Lebowski was like a real thing, then it wouldn't be.
All right.
So I start as a counselor at Grace to Change from the woman who helped me get sober, which was Shannon White, right?
Well, let's talk a little bit about what Grace to Change has to offer as far as a. Yeah.
So we are an outpatient, adolescent and adult outpatient substance abuse treatment center.
Okay.
We're in McKinney.
And since the last time that somebody's been on the show from Grace to Change, they have opened up their adolescent program.
Yeah.
Oh, nice.
We have opened up our adolescent program. We are one of the only outpatient adolescent programs in Collin County right now.
Thanks to the one that somebody knows really well that shut down.
Yeah. So we had inpatient, big one shut down. Yep. So we're working on all that. So our adolescent program's up and going. We have our adult program. IOP is called, it's intensive outpatient program.
Yes.
So if anybody wants to know, you know, it's outpatient therapy, you know, outpatient rehab. So we're nonprofit also. So So we have a gala coming up on the 26th.
Okay. So how do people get a hold of y'all? And we'll talk about the gala.
Sure. Did I just give my phone number?
Well, no. I would just give is there a website?
Yep. gracetochange.org.
Okay.
Gracetochange.org. Spell it all out. And like I said, we're in McKinney, and you can reach us by email or the number. All the information's on the website.
Well, I'll put in the description.
That'd be great. That'd be great. We have a great adult program. We were super fun. We were super fun.
Well, I can tell. Yeah. I mean, it's not like very preachy and all that.
No. We are all
like real.
Yep. No, we're all we're all in recovery.
Yeah. It's fucking dude. It's good enough to get me to go back there, like, you know, probably 2-3 times a week. Sometimes.
Yeah,
for sure.
We've got lots of people
I just go learn shit.
Aftercare is free for the rest of your life.
Yeah, I've never seen. It's not a good business model, but I've never seen.
Talk to Shannon about that, right? Yeah, no, I've
never seen anybody leave there worse after going there. It's just a good way to spend a couple hours, man.
It really
just like
is.
going to a meeting, but like it's way more relaxed. Than
Well, and then
to a meeting.
talk about the gala you have coming up.
Yeah, so like I said, we're a nonprofit, so we have our annual gala on the 26th, next Thursday. You can go to the website. gracetochange.org again, and all the information for the galas on there. Tickets, we still have tickets available.
Oh, okay.
Raffles. This is how we try to get some cash to get some clients sober.
There
you
we
know,
go.
like I said, we're a nonprofit and we deal with mostly indigent clients. We take self-pay, not medical, not major medical insurance. So we got self-pay, indigent, Collin County funding, stuff like that. So
Right. Okay. Well,
CPS, we work with CPS probation.
Okay. Well, it sounds like y'all have good stuff going on, and if you can get Chad clean, then,
Dude, if they shit, brother, if y'all can get me, you help damn near anybody.
You know, sobriety's been not easy.
Mm-hmm. You're good.
Yeah, a little bit.
Yeah.
So I was just going to touch on a few things that I like to show for people that because sobriety's hard, man. Sobriety's hard. I never tell anybody sobriety's easy. First year recovery is a pain in the ass. It's super hard. You just have to want better. You know, you just have to do better. So I got sober in 2011. In 2015, my mom died unexpectedly out of the blue. My husband tried to leave me before that. And my aunt died, and my daughter's best friend died.
Yeah, well, so just because you're sober doesn't mean
life's gonna
it's gonna get perfect. Yeah,
right. So that was like my hardest year in sobriety. I thought, and then 2018 rolls around, and I'm with my husband, and he decides out of the blue that it's time for him to get sober. He calls me. He travels. My husband traveled for work. He was never home. I was home alone. He was traveling. That's how it worked. He'd come home for a few days every couple months, and that's how we lived. Until 2015. After that, he didn't leave me, by the way. I didn't let him.
Right.
But I changed a lot of things. One was I was going to travel to him so we could spend time together.
Okay.
So basically the only thing that changed is I got vacations. I got vacations, and we got more time together. We got vacations. So 2018, he calls. He says he needs to get sober. He's not going to drink at work, which basically he drank all the time. So he was still in his body.
Yeah.
And he was a horrible alcoholic. He drank Tito's and Red Bull and this much Cheetos and this much Red Bull and downed 2 first just to get him settled, and then he'd go.
Of course.
He'd progressively gotten worse throughout the whole year. He quit drugs in 2011 too, which was awesome. But the alcohol, anyway, he gets sober. Cool thing. I love to watch it. It was a great time. He went back to traveling. 2019, he's good. He hits a year. He slips up a little bit, and then July 2020, he dies.
Oh, wow.
Yeah,
Wow.
he dies. He's in a drowning accident due to intoxication.
Wow. Well, I'm sorry to hear that.
So that's okay. Thank you. But it's part of my story because I survived that shit.
Right.
Right. At however many years sober, my life changed. Everything changes when a spouse dies. I didn't want to use. I didn't want to drink. That was the greatest thing. Somebody asked me, come on now, you drank, didn't you? I was like, no, I did not drink.
Right.
And life.
Well, at some point, I think you figure it out. If you give yourself enough time of sobriety and a long enough window, you realize that, hey, man, throwing that at it is not going to help.
It doesn't.
It's going to be a Band-Aid for right now at best.
Yep.
And, there could be repercussions, and I could go through this shit all again and make it worse.
Yeah.
So.
It just wasn't the answer. It had been the answer for so many years.
Yeah.
All the feelings I didn't want to feel, it was always the answer. So he ends up dying, and I have to find myself again right here. I'm like figuring shit out. And what I realized in that, and this is my warning to people, is that for the first 8 years of recovery in my 12-step program, I did this routine because I didn't want to hurt, because my marriage wasn't the greatest. It was beautiful. He was a wonderful man, but it just wasn't the greatest always. He wasn't abusive or anything like that.
Right.
Just drugs. We started with drugs, ended with drugs. It was always drugs. I got sober and he didn't. It just was different.
Yeah.
But now I lost what I was going to say, I think.
Well, you were going to say something about your husband.
You had a routine, and then you
Oh, right. So in sobriety, I get this routine. I go to my meeting, I go to work, I get my dinner, I come home, I watch my shows, I do the same thing. It's all healthy, it's all great.
Food prep
Right.
and all that
I'm
stuff.
food prepping on Sundays, I'm doing yoga on Saturdays, I'm meditating every morning. What I realized after Jeff dies is that I didn't feel a fucking thing for 8 years. I didn't give myself a chance to feel anything for 8 years. I stayed in this routine of recovery. I thought I was sober and it was good. Don't get me wrong.
Well, that's how I can say some people are addicted to the program as well. You can get addicted to recovery as well.
Yes, and I didn't see that I was growing, but I never got a chance to use any tools, any growth. I didn't know what to do. So all of a sudden, all these people, died in 2015. Then here comes him, and then he dies. And I have to learn, once again, how to be sober, and deal with emotions, because that's what I was good at.
Well,
not
and
feeling
that's
my
a big
emotions.
part of it, is dealing with your emotions,
Yes.
because that's what we try to run away with substance, a lot of the times.
Absolutely, which is my biggest kind of lesson in this, is that I ignored everything I felt because I had such a shitty life, I thought, right? With drugs and substances and alcohol and all this. And then I get sober and I do the same thing with AA.
Yeah.
Right? And I'm not putting down AA. I love 12 steps. That's not what I'm saying. But we got to pay attention. That's my biggest thing. I think we got to pay attention to ourselves in recovery.
Yeah.
I
agree.
ignored myself.
Well, and hopefully you are getting that, or people get that part addressed in therapy.
Yes.
And then, that's where you get the spotlight put on what's going on between your ears.
Absolutely. I think therapy is super, super important. I did start therapy after he died. I didn't think I had to, and she was super helpful.
Right.
AA is a badass platform to get you sober and show you how to stay sober long enough for your brain to start firing back on all them cylinders.
Absolutely.
And then if you got shit that comes up, which most likely nowadays you see most people are co-occurring.
Yes.
And that's like, it's just not necessarily suitable. Yeah, it has a potential to solve every one of your problems, for sure.
Right.
But there's a lot of shit that happened to people in between the 1930s and now. that is, suffice it to say, not going to wash out.
Not gonna. Right? I absolutely
So
believe it.
you got to dig into it and do it. But you can't even do that shit until you've been sober long enough for your brain to actually rewire.
Yeah, it takes a long time for us to get our nervous system calmed down enough and our brain calmed down.
Yeah.
I know I used to try to outthink my emotional experiences, I just wanted to outthink all my emotional experiences. And
Right.
and then just I could fix this and I can make it do. And that is what I did. Is I just tried to outthink all of those emotional experiences. And what I realize now is I got to feel that stuff. I've realized it
Yeah.
a long time. That's not now. After he died, I just was disassociated for like 6 months.
Yeah.
I don't remember the 6 months after he died. And then December 21st, the planets aligned, the great conjunction. I don't know. I'm an energy freak. I manifested some shit that night that I was not going to live like this, and I was going to create a life that I needed to live. At that point, I started my private practice therapy. I
Okay.
did that. I started dating, which was just crazy.
Okay. Yeah.
That was crazy. I started sponsoring more girls. I got a little more into my life. I started feeling my emotions. I went to therapy. So life improved greatly.
Yeah.
I even found new love,
Well,
which
Yeah, he's fucking cool, man.
which I had no clue I would.
Is he an amputee?
He is not an amputee.
And he's not a
dang
pilot
it.
either.
And he's not a pilot.
Well, he's a musician,
No.
right?
No, he's a graphic designer.
Oh, graphic designer. That's
Yeah,
right.
he's a graphic designer. But that party that I went to when I did that cocaine, when at 22, he was at that party.
Oh,
Yeah.
wow.
So I met him then. We dated for a year. He broke up with me because
right.
I was too independent. That's my trauma response.
Right.
Ultra independent. You don't need me. And then his wife died of alcoholism a year after mine, and he reached out.
Wow.
And here we are.
There we go.
Well, look at that,
It's an
man.
insane.
So I always like to give the guest a chance to shout out anybody they'd like to at the end of the show.
I don't know. Happy birthday, Isabella Alberton.
There we go. Happy birthday.
Happy birthday to my angel.
And keep her away from Chad.
Keep her away from Chad. No, she's got a boyfriend she's had since they met in rehab
Oh,
in
wow.
high school. She's going to be pissed, but that's okay.
right.
They met in rehab in high school. So,
okay,
yeah.
sweet.
She ended up being one of us too, but
Right.
she's a whole lot better. So
Well,
that was high school.
That's
Yeah.
what's up, man.
She's an amazing, amazing, brilliant girl, and I just like to talk about her all day if you would let me. But
Keep her away from Chad. Fuck you, Kelly.
Chad just now got that.
No, dude. I'm fucking.
You've been
I was about to say
stewing
some
over
way
here.
more mean shit, dude, and then I just chilled out, and what I got out of it was "fuck you, Kelly."
Good.
damn.
Good for you, Chad.
Hell yeah,
Good for you, brother.
Real
That's-
time
Hey,
resentment.
man, that's real growth.
That was
right
real.
there.
Hell yeah,
That's
man.
real growth there.
Yeah.
But and then of course you want to shout out Grace to Change.
Grace
Shannon,
to
right?
Change for sure. Grace to Change, like I said, woohoo! GraceToChange.org, outpatient facility in McKinney, and
All right.
we just love to help people. That's when the light comes on. That's my favorite thing. When the
There's
light
nothing
comes
like
on,
it.
there's
Yeah.
nothing like when people can find recovery. And all I want is people to feel what I feel. Right? Not those 8 years when I wasn't feeling, but
Right.
the growth I've had in 12, and that life is good, man.
Yeah.
Just be present. Like
Yeah.
all that stuff is just stuff.
I
All the-
did a video for them that I think they're gonna play at the gala or whatever. And
Yeah.
I was just asking people questions, and the question Shannon wanted to ask was, "What is your why?" And her answer was just like, "I just want everybody to fucking feel like I do, man.
Yeah.
I want everybody to feel what I feel." And I was like, "That's pretty fucking cool."
Right.
I hate that it took a death and some grief and some loss for me to really push my life, but it did.
Yeah.
It did. It takes what it takes.
Well, I think what happens is you end up also once the reason why you became an LCDC and stuff like that is to help, and that's
Yeah.
the whole reason why I started the show.
Yeah.
Is because hey, it's my way of giving back.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
The
And that's all
darkest
I wanna
darks
do.
bring the lightest light, man. Like if your darkness is that fucking dark, then your brightness, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, yeah.
Like that's the
Yeah.
cool part about it. So it's like and the cool thing about grief and all that stuff, dude, is like you get to learn how to be there for other people, and you get to connect on levels that like you wouldn't have been able to connect on had you met
absolutely
those
not.
people prior.
Right,
Yeah.
and you wouldn't understand their situation that
No.
they're in if you hadn't had your own experience.
This
Yeah.
also gave me the opportunity to dive into my sisters in my AA. I don't like chicks, right? And I don't like chicks in sobriety too much because that's like emotional friendship. I had already
Right.
ignored my emotions. What are you talking
Right.
about, right? So finally, I kept going, and I finally just said, you know what? Nobody tell me me that he's okay and he's in a better place. And nobody tell me any of this bullshit about nothing. He's dead, and I need you guys to cover me. And they did. And they've been with me ever since. Because I chose to get in the middle of the boat, though, right?
Yeah.
That's the other thing. I just stayed out here with everybody. I just did this routine, you know. I lived good. I was happy-ish.
Yeah, ish.
You know, but
Well, I mean, you know, we're all a work in progress.
Yep, we are.
So-
We are. And that's really. Can I be done?
I can't be graduated already.
I super want to be done now. That I just want to be done. I do. I'm like kind of tired of that. But we do. It's all growth, right?
Right.
But it doesn't have to be painful, which is cool.
Well, I appreciate you coming on the show.
Good.
And then
Thank
good
you.
luck.
Thank
Yeah.
you very much. I appreciate you having me. I hope
Yeah, this will be good.
Like-
you could air this as one of your fucking one of
my
the
groups.
lessons. Yeah,
one of my
why not,
lessons.
man?
I know. I feel like I didn't say much about the feelings and stuff and emotions.
I
And
think you
recovery
did.
and
I
the-
think
did
you
I?
hit that.
Okay.
Hell yeah, you did.
I
Like the
think you got
pain
it.
enough. I mean, I don't want
Right.
people. I just want them to know we can overcome.
Just
that.
go cut
Yeah.
their fucking legs off.
Yes, right.
You know what I mean?
There you go.
We can overcome so much. So
Yeah.
I just want people to
Well, we appreciate you coming on,
Thank
young lady.
you.
Thank you
Thank
for
you
making
very
the
much.
drive.
Yes,
and you'll be
yes,
going
yes,
to
yes.
Grace to Change this evening.
I
right?
am. I'm
You're
heading there
that
right
way?
now.
Nice.
We're doing a little groupie. We do groups Monday, Tuesday, and Thursday.
Love it.
Well, tell everybody where you were, man.
I will. I'm super excited. All right.
All
Thank
right.
you, guys.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Thanks for coming on, Chadwick, as always. Thank
Yeah.
you for coming in. Thank you for letting me verbally abuse you.
Every day, man.
Look, Chad is not the innocent party.
No,
here.
he is
Chad,
not the
Chad
innocent party.
completely shits on me at every opportunity he gets.
Wow, dude. That
Wow.
sounds like some fucking.
Oh, he says, "Wow."
That
Yeah,
sounds like
I know,
some
like,
bullshit.
yeah.
Wow.
Chat, who?
Yeah.
Hey,
Who, me? Who,
Hey,
me?
me?
Who, me?
I'm just hanging around.
Wow. No.
Anyway,
Yeah. All
but
right.
thanks for hanging out, running the board. And remember, kids, there is no magic pill for sobriety, because if there was, we would all take too many.
Ooh.